Good morning, Ultimate Hustlers and Digital Empire Builders. It is that time for the Cortez Hustle Show. And today we've got another fire episode lined up for you. We're talking about how to attract more of your dream clients with Teresa Sivak. She is a digital marketing specialist extraordinaire. She brings psychology. She even brings a little military flair to what it is that she's doing, man. And I can't wait to have a conversation with her because I might need to go through a digital marketing boot camp myself to learn some tips and some strategies and some tricks on how to attract more of my dream clients. So I'm super excited about this episode, man. I can't tell you. It's been in the works for a while. So we're not going to belabor the moment. So do me a huge favor. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Smash that share button, ladies and gentlemen. And let's kick it this morning. Yo, what's up, Ultimate Hustlers, and welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show, the business podcast for the entrepreneur of the 21st century. And I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. Our goal is to give you a behind-the-scenes look at how the world's greatest hustlers build amazing brands, scale their businesses to incredible heights, sell more, make more, and create mass movements that impact the world. It doesn't matter if you're a seasoned vet or you're sitting on the sidelines with aspirations to one day unleash your inner hustle. This show will provide the insights into how pure grit, determination, and hard work has morphed into some of the most iconic brands and personalities and how they are moving the culture forward. You'll get a mix of solo shows featuring yours truly, as well as interviews and content from other hustlers that I either know personally or I've learned from or whose grind I've come to know and respect. And you'll also get exclusive recordings from our membership called Monetize My Life Academy, which you can check out at monetizemylifeacademy.com. That's a program where we go live every month with some of the best hustlers on the planet, sharing best practices on how we all can explode our brands with advanced branding and marketing tactics, business development strategies, and financial game planning necessary to build the empires we all desire. Again, that's at monetizemylifeacademy.com. If you like today's episode, chances are the hustlers you're connected to will like it as well. Share it with those in your network. And when you do, use hashtag Cortez Hustle so I can see you and hopefully give you a shout out and share you in my stories. So check out today's episode and make sure you subscribe to the feed on your favorite podcasting networks. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Cortez Hustle Show. I am, of course, your host, Cortez Hustle, everybody's favorite SaaSpreneur, coming to you live and direct from the Local Biz Marketing Pro Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. And we have a wonderful show lined up for you today. If you are a local small business and you're looking to optimize your online presence, increase your lead flow, grow your revenue so you can expand your operation and contribute more to the communities that you serve, check out localbizmarketingpros.com. Today, we're talking to a digital marketing specialist, right? We're talking about how to attract more of your dream clients to you, right? Because we are long past the days of chasing down clients. You got to put yourself in position to be found. And our guest today, Teresa Sivak, is going to be sharing with us some tips and strategies on exactly how to go about doing that. A couple quick announcements before we get underway. Always remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to support your favorite online influencers, especially on Facebook, Facebook offers this platform called Stars. You can actually click on the link in the show notes in the description, go buy some stars, and next time you see your favorite influencer, yours truly, online, then you can give them some stars, and Facebook then allows us to convert those stars into actual cash. So that's one way that you can support us. Of course, you can always like and share the content. I got to say, I'm extremely proud of you guys. The Local Biz Marketing Mastermind Facebook group is starting to pick up some steam. So the link is in the show notes in the description for that as well. If you are a local business and you need a good community to be a part of that's focusing on marketing and different strategies to help you grow your business, then make sure you check that out. It doesn't cost you anything to join. A couple questions that's going to be asked when you try to join. Answer those questions and you get right in, and maybe you'll find your business bestie in there, man. Everybody who is in business needs to have other entrepreneurs that they can lean on and talk to, because this business of entrepreneurship is not easy, and we all need different levels of support, not just coaches and mentors. They help you grow, but sometimes just an ear to hear some of the things that you're going through. And who better than another entrepreneur who understands what it's like to deal with some disgruntled clients and all kinds of stuff. So I just want to throw that out there. Now, without further ado, before we officially start the show, which normally we start with the quote of the day, we're actually going to bring on our guest because she might have her own great quote that she wants to share or chime in on this one. So we're talking how to attract more of your dream customers with my good friend and guest for today. Let's bring up Miss Teresa Sivak. I always want to say your name wrong, Teresa. I think I got it right. Teresa Sivak. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
All
That is
right. Well, how you
correct.
doing, sis? How are you?
Good. How are you today?
Extremely well, and glad to have you on. I can't wait to dive into this psychology and military approach to marketing. I don't know if I've ever heard the two being married, so we're definitely going to get into that. But before we get into our show and who you are and all of that kind of stuff, we start the show the same way with a quote of the day. And the way that works is I'm going to share a quote that I have, usually one that kicks my butt as I'm trying to get my workout in the morning and I'm listening to some positive motivational stuff. But if you have a favorite quote that you like to share and expound on, you're certainly welcome to do that, or you can chime in on this one. So today's quote says this: "It's not how hard you row, it's whether you're in the right boat to begin with." And that's a quote from one of the richest men in the world, Mr. Warren Buffett. So, do
Oh,
you have a
wow.
favorite quote that you like to share, or do you want to chime in on that one?
At this moment, I don't have a favorite quote, but that one really hits deep.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
one really hits deep.
So many people are not in the right boat.
No,
And
no.
unfortunately, they're not going to figure that out until years down the road. So
Yeah.
hopefully they can get on the right boat and then start rowing hard, right? But don't keep rowing hard and you're in the wrong boat and you find yourself in the wrong place, in the wrong destination. And I put a Facebook quote up not long ago that says, "I'm not afraid of failure, but I'm terrified of regret." Right? I
Mhm.
refuse to wake up at 80, 90 years old wishing I would have given my all. I'm giving my all today. How about you?
Oh my goodness. I actually just posted a reel like 2 days ago. And it
Mhm.
was something similar to that. And I had said that I'd rather keep failing because that's a learned skill or
Yeah.
sharpened skill that I
Mhm.
can continue using. So that's amazing that it's just kind of correlated everything together
Yeah,
today.
man.
I'm shook.
So many people they're gonna wake up and like Jim Rohn says, one of two pains, either the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Choose your pain. And I really
Absolutely.
choose the pain of discipline, even though I hate working out, Teresa.
Ah,
I hate there's
ah.
certain things that I still haven't made myself fall in love with it, but I do it anyway. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the quote of the day right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. Again, brought to you by our Facebook group, Local Biz Marketing Mastermind. Optimize your online presence, increase your leads, grow your revenue, expand your operation, and contribute more to the communities that you serve. That's what we're talking about in that group. Make sure you guys go check that out. Now, Teresa, I ask everybody who comes on to the Cortez Hustle Show the same question, and I'm going to ask it to you, my friend. And the question is this: who the heck are you?
Who the heck am I? Who the heck am I? So I am a certified brand strategist and the founder of TGS Marketing, and
Mhm.
is a psychology and military-based digital marketing agency that focuses on teaching business owners how to show up confidently and sell their products or services
Mhm.
effectively online.
Gotcha. Now that's who you are in business, but who are
Right.
you away from business? Who is Teresa after all the client talk is gone and it's now just you and your family? Who is that, Teresa?
So I am a mom of a toddler. She's 4, the
Okay.
spouse of an active duty military soldier. I
Okay.
do live in a military base, so everything is just military surrounded.
All right.
Everything's surrounded by military.
Gotcha.
Um, I live in Kentucky,
Mhm.
Fort Knox,
Okay.
Kentucky. And so my life has been pretty much entrepreneurial based. My
Hmm.
father, unfortunately, he passed away last year, but
Oh, sorry to hear
he
that.
has been a very big part of my life when it comes to the influence that I've had in entrepreneurship.
Hmm.
Since young, he has had businesses on top of businesses. And so I've lived with him.
Hmm.
And my mother, she lived in Dominican Republic. That's where I'm from, my country.
Okay.
And so when we were here in the United States, in the States, he had his side hustles. So he had
Mhm.
one specifically where he would sell women's accessories. And
Okay.
so here's me, 5 years old, with my dad in the
Mhm.
Bronx, New York, hearing him
Mm.
hustle and bargain and throw out prices and ultimately sell out. And
Right.
so me listening to all these things, it impacted me like slowly because, you don't know
Hmm.
until much later when you realize, oh my goodness, I remember my dad used to say this. I remember. And
Hmm.
so as time went by, I had my own businesses. I've helped even my own family, my aunts, my uncles run their businesses. It's
Hmm.
just me, like just helping out, not
Yeah.
really being a marketer, not really doing for profit. It was just, yeah, uncle, I'll help you out. Or, yeah,
Right.
And
Yeah.
so all of that has equipped me to what I do today.
Gotcha. So how old when you guys came to the from the Dominican? Were you born here, or did you come with your
No,
parents early in life?
I was just 5 years old when I came here to
Okay.
the States.
Gotcha.
Um, and then over the time, uh, English is my second language.
Okay.
Spanish is my first.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So, but it has helped a lot. It has helped a lot.
All right. I love that. So with dad and just grinding it out and trying to figure out not the easiest place to land in when you come to the United States. You land in New York in the Bronx, right? And but you saw early on the hustle and the bustle, and I would imagine the pace of life, which you probably just didn't understand that there was a difference. But talk about that pace of New York. Now that you're in Kentucky, right? There's a different pace,
My
man.
goodness. The only reason I'm in Kentucky is because of the military. But
Gotcha.
I grew up in Miami, Florida.
Okay.
So we went from the Bronx, New York. We lived there up until I was 16 years old.
Okay.
Then around 17, we moved to Florida, and that's where my dad
Mhm.
had his Caribbean supermarket.
Okay.
So I helped
Nice.
him out with that and all
Yeah.
that good stuff. And then I decided to join the military. But
Okay.
the pace between New York, Florida, and Kentucky is like slowly declines because
It's
New
different.
York it is like fast, fast, fast,
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Florida is like, smooth. And then Kentucky is just, it's just like completely
Yeah.
different. So something to get used to for sure.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So talk about, that those teenage years, right? That owns a supermarket. That's not a traditional thing in terms of your social life with your friends. Hey, my dad owns business. Your dad goes to work every day. Was there any ever any conflict between your social life and you helping dad out at the store? You wanting different things, and he just like I'm thinking of Gary Vaynerchuk when you say that, because I remember he just worked in his parents' liquor store just forever, right? And didn't have a social life. So did you experience any of that as you were helping, or were you truly helping and not actually running the store like he was in the States?
Um, it came a point where I was helping, but then, the teenage years come and you're
Hmm.
kind of rebel a little bit.
Okay.
I was in high school. I wanted to be out with my friends. I also
Yeah.
wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to be on my own cell phone plan. And so my dad would tell me, if you truly want it, you're going to have to work somewhere else. And so
Mm.
that's when I started realizing, like, if I truly want something, I have to start
Yeah.
working. I have to start,
Wow.
moving somewhere else. And it sounds a little crazy, a little harsh, but I actually thank
Mhm.
my father for doing that
Yeah.
because it really did make me who I am today, and that's how
Mhm.
I am teaching my kid right now. If
Yeah.
you really want something, you kind of have to work for it.
Yeah, work for it.
But yes, it was so tough. It was so tough because I wanted to do so many things, but no, we had to work at the supermarket on a Saturday all day.
I
Like,
was gonna
just
say,
imagine. On
supermarket open super early, right? I'm
Yes,
sure you're
yes.
not at a supermarket that opens at 10 a.m., right? You got to be there
8
super
a.m. We will be
early.
open at 8 a.m. and close at 9 p.m. So imagine all day,
Yeah,
17, 18 years old. And I'm just
on a
like, oh my God,
Saturday.
on a Saturday. I'm just like, I just want to hang out with my friends, go to the
Yeah,
mall. Oh, it's,
right.
it's
But the
crazy. But
example set sounds like it really helped to shape who you are. But then you decided, were you an entrepreneur in high school? Were you hustling a little bit? You can't not be after being around your dad as an entrepreneur all the time. So what were some of the side hustles that you had in high school?
funny story. I would sell my clothes.
Really?
Yes, Poshmark. Poshmark. Do you know Poshmark?
Yes, yes.
So I would sell I love shopping at Target, TJ Maxx, Ross, and I would
Mhm.
wear it a couple times and I would just sell it at Poshmark
Wow.
and just have that recycling thing. And I made my money from that, my little side hustle.
Nice.
Um, and thinking about it now,
Hmm.
my dad used to do that. That's what my dad used to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was my side hustle in high school for sure.
Wow, that's so
Yeah.
interesting. I think I knew it. You can't come up in a household like that. Watch your dad from the time you hit the States hustling all of this time and then not have some sort of side hustle.
It's
Um,
insane. It's
uh,
insane.
but then you went to the military. Talk about the mindset that you were in when you made that decision, right? Was there any pushback from dad, like, hey, A, it's the military. B, you're female going into military. C, you're my baby girl. He can't go off to the military, right? What was that experience like for you?
So I joined the military only because I was a little rebel. I was like, well, I wanted to do something that pushed me, that was something that I've never experienced before,
Mhm.
even though half side of my mother's family in the Dominican Republic, they're all in the military
Oh,
in the
wow.
Dominican
Okay.
Republic. But
Gotcha.
it's not the same military as the United States. It's a little bit
Gotcha.
more laid back.
Okay.
But here, I decided to do it. I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to do it.
Hmm.
My dad was very, very against it because
Mm.
he wanted me to finish school. I
Hmm.
had just started college. He
Yeah.
wanted me to finish my psychology degree.
Mm.
He wanted me to continue working with him at the supermarket, and I was just like,
Yeah. Yeah.
no. Um, I just did it. I just went, and I tell you what, it was the best decision one of the best decisions I've ever made. Uh,
Gotcha.
Joining the
Well,
military.
well, thank you so much for your service. I tell all of my
Thank you.
military folks and your husband as well that I couldn't practice and participate in this free enterprise system if it wasn't for the soldiers that protects this democracy and makes this available for us. And this is why this is one of the greatest countries in the world, if not right up there at the number one spot. So thank you so much for your
Thank you.
willingness to serve. Are you still active, or did you come out? I know you said your husband is still active, right?
Yes, my husband is an active, but I am finishing my contract at the reserves. So
Okay,
I have
gotcha.
about 2 more years till I'm completely let
Gotcha.
go.
Funny story. I was almost a Marine, right?
What?
First year in college. Yep. Yep. First year in college, and trying to figure life out as a young man, recruiters on college campus. I had already, by that time, I tell everybody, I checked out of school the first 2 weeks. I officially dropped out after 2 semesters. So we're in the second semester. I'm already like, I hadn't been going to class or any of that stuff. So I knew that college was done, but I knew I didn't want to disappoint my mom. I wanted to do something. So college recruiter recruited me, was like, hey man, let's get you signed up. I was like, man, how's it gonna work for going to school? Because then I got scared. Now I know that I'm already dropping out of school, but I used the school card. He's like, well, no, we can get you signed up in the reserve. You can actually do boot camp, and the school makes an allowance for you to register late a couple weeks after school. And I was like, okay, sign me up. Went home, shaved my head, started running, and all of this stuff. And I actually got sworn in. And you know what kept me from being a Marine? I had a speeding ticket
Oh,
that
wow.
the county that I got the ticket in had issued a warrant. So this whole time they running my name and nothing pops up. But right before we ship out to boot camp, this ticket
Your
pops
name
up.
pops up.
And my mom
Oh,
didn't have the resources to pay for it at the time. And that kept me from being a Marine. I don't know who I'd be today, Teresa, if I had been a Marine. I don't know. But I was
oh
I
my.
was that close to being in the Marine Reserve. So good kudos to you making that decision. I'm sure it wasn't easy, but you made it. One of the best decisions in your life, and brought you up this far. So we're going to continue our discussion with Teresa. But now it's time for one of my favorite episodes of the show, or say favorite segments of the show, and it's called 1 Minute Motivation, Teresa. This is where we play a short motivational clip, usually 60 to 90 seconds or so. I'm going to ask you to jot down a takeaway or two. I'll give a couple takeaways or two. And then the audience usually comments their takeaways as well. So let's get into some 1 minute motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show.
Nothing is more natural than to dream. In fact, most people dream too small. Very few people are ever accused of dreaming too big, and God never rebuked anybody for dreaming big. Over 3 times he rebuked Israel for thinking and dreaming too small.
Don't give up. In trying times, don't stop trying. Regret looks back. Worry looks around. But victory looks up. Victory says, I know God is going to help me. A man is not finished when he's defeated. He's finished when he quits. The successful trait of all successful people in the Bible and in life is they conquered the temptation to give up, especially when it gets tough, especially when all hell is coming against you. Stand up on your hind feet, stand right there and say, you know something? It isn't the final say so until I say so.
And that's the reason a lot of dreams from God never come true. We give up just too quick. People who fulfill their God-given dreams are people who refuse to quit. They're not the most brilliant. They're not the most talented, not always better skilled than you. They don't always have the best of resources. They're just people who refuse to let go of their dream.
Hoo-wee. I don't know about you, Teresa. That gives me chills in the morning when I hear that. And again, that is one of my favorite segments, but especially when I have a guest on, because what I love about it is we all just listen to the same clip. But based on where we are in life, we all heard something very different. So what did you hear, sis?
Dream too small. Dream too small.
Yeah.
So many people dream so small, and they dream in the present. They don't dream in the future.
Yeah.
You know, they think about the present. If I do this now, what's going to happen now? They don't think if I dream now, or if I do this now, what's going to happen in 6 months, 7 months, 2 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
That's what I heard.
I love that. I love that. It takes the same amount of energy to dream big as it does to dream small, right?
Yeah.
I love that he said God never rebuked anybody for dreaming too big,
Right.
But he has rebuked some people for dreaming too small or thinking too small. You really have to let go, right? Most people dream too small. Don't look back or around, look up, right? And to your point, not only do we dream in the present, a lot of times that present dreaming has us looking at the resources that we have right this moment too. And sometimes when I look at myself in the future, it's a different Cortez, because I know 5 years from now, I would have grown. I don't know what kind of people I would have met. I don't know what kind of resources I'm going to have access to. I'm just assuming I'm going to have what I need to make that dream come true. And that's just how I see it. So many people, to your point, though, they dream small, and they dream according to their resources, according to what they have right now. And I'm like, it's all made up. So
because they think they're going to have the same thing in 5 years. They think what they have now, they're going to have it in 5 years. Like, you just never know who you're going to meet.
That's right.
You never know.
Yeah, I am so with you on that. You got to dream big, because if you fall short, at least you've stretched, at least you've grown some, and that's what's most important. Is for me, dreaming stretches me, right? It gives me something to reach for, something to strive for, whether I accomplish it or not. It is the attempt, it is the journey, it is the
Right.
process, and the person I grew into while I was making the attempt, whether I win, whether I lost, whether I failed, or whatever. It is the attempt that really transforms us. So I'm going to encourage all of you guys out there listening, don't ever find yourself dreaming too small. And if you think you're dreaming big right now, I've got a mentor that I listen to, a virtual mentor, and he talked about how he thought that he was dreaming big, and then he got a chance to go to a conference with Grant Cardone, and some of the things that Grant Cardone was talking about doing, it was like, oh man, I never even thought to dream that big. He's like, man, I'm trying to get my dream car. I never thought to have a dealership full of cars. I'm trying to get my dream house. I never thought to have or own a whole subdivision. And like, you really have to be around people who dream big to stretch you in your thinking and in your dreaming as well. So
And to influence you too.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Being around the right people. One of my recent posts on Facebook says that adults need a village too, right? We always talk about children need a village, but adults need a village too. Get yourself around the right people who are going to help you, support you, encourage and inspire you, and just take action and see what happens. That's pretty much how I lived my entire life. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is 1 Minute Motivation right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, brought to you by TSG Marketing and Media. So we were up into the point in your life where, hey, military kind of got out, almost got one foot out, but still doing the reserve thing for another couple years. What was the decision like to start transitioning yourself out of the military, right? Was it an abrupt decision, or was it going in, hey, I know I'm going to do a few years, I'm not going to make this a career thing? Or did something happen, something change in you that says, you know what, it was going to be a career, but now I'm ready to get out of here and do something else?
Well, it was going to be a career for sure, because I really didn't have any set plans, set future before joining. So
Okay.
I had some military friends, and I saw that it was going well for them.
Mhm.
But on my 5th year, I got pregnant. And
Okay.
by my husband's kid, right?
Yes.
And
Let's make that clear. Let's be clear here.
right. And he said, "Hey, just get out." And I said, "You know what? You're right. I don't need this." And I wasn't. It came to the point where I wasn't happy anymore there. I was just waking up, kind of like being a robot. So I just woke up and did what I had to do, and that was it. No motivation to do nothing. So fast forward, I got out. I was with him, and it was great. It was great. And then that's where the whole marketing thing started about, brewing. So if you want me to tell you about that too,
we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But you made that decision to get out. Did you just spend time just being mommy mode and just nurturing, caregiver, just chilling for a minute? You have your little break between the monotony of I'm not excited about what I'm doing in the military, and then that comes to an end. So was it, hey, I'm just chilling, I'm just being a mom right now and I'll figure it out? Or did you really just go right into something else even while pregnant?
So I was a stay-at-home mom for a year.
Okay.
I loved waking up whenever I wanted. I loved just shopping whenever I wanted, going to Target whenever I wanted. It was great. That was great. So it was okay. For 1 year only.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And then you started going down this path. So I know that you've already had the entrepreneurial bug in you. Got a chance to do the military thing, which is somewhat equivalent to the corporate thing. You're on somebody else's schedule and they control and say, hey, when you come and when you go and all of that kind of stuff. But now you got this quasi freedom, right? It's like, hey, baby is here. Baby is a year old now. And I'm guessing you're asking yourself, what am I going to do with the rest of my life?
Yeah. Yeah. I kept looking at my husband doing his thing because he loves the military. That's his thing. His dad was in for 32 years. He just retired in 2015 as the highest rank. Like there's no rank after that. And then that's what he's trying to do too. Retire, be a lifer.
Okay.
And I would watch him do his thing till now. You know, he loves doing his thing. But I, knowing me, being working since I was 15 years old, I couldn't just be a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I unfortunately got into this deep depression where I wanted and needed to do something for my mental health, for me, you know. And so that's when I decided to join a multi-level marketing company.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it. Yeah.
And
so
then,
in that depressive state, right? How long do you think it took you to really recognize, or was it your husband that realized, hey, something ain't quite right, or was it someone else, or did you? How long do you think it took before it was realized that, you know what, this isn't normal, just tired and not wanting to interact. This is something different.
It was all me, really. My husband had no idea because he was working a lot, being in the rank that he was back then. He had a lot of responsibility. So it was going at 5 a.m, come back home at 9 at night. So all day I'm home with the baby, you know, to myself, thinking and then my parents being hundreds of miles away, not just, you know, going next door if I wanted to see them. It was just by myself with my kid, with my baby. So I realized that this wasn't right, but I knew what was the reason, because I was so used to working. I was so used to doing something. And then when I stopped, that's what happened.
Yeah, you didn't have those busy hands and feet, right? Always moving, always doing something, something to, even when it wasn't, you know, what you really wanted, you knew what your schedule was tomorrow. I still got to get up, got to go to work, got to do this.
Right.
But all of a sudden, none of that exists. So did you pull yourself out of it, or did you have to go seek some help, or was it, you know, being around that uber positive community in the network marketing space that just kind of helped pull you out of it?
So funny story. I was scrolling on social media and I saw one of my friends from very back in the day, since we were 15, 16 years old in Florida. And she was posting about like, oh, things that she does, you know, getting paid weekly and just working from your phone and just having something to do and a community. And I was like, you know what? Why not? One thing about me is I'm a risk taker. Always have been and always will be. And I think that's great also for business, in a sense. But it helped me to just do it. And plus knowing her, I just went for it.
Gotcha. So what was it like? Now you're kind of back into the entrepreneurial mindset a little bit. Was it easy for you to slip back into that mode and really immerse yourself into that community? And how did it go for you? And not everybody has success in that world. Yeah.
So funny story. I actually switched like my mindset to entrepreneurship and military. So that's how I treated my team. And that's how it grew. And that's how I was able to help my teammates, consultants sell $25 to $40 shampoos and have them, you know, grow their team and coach them and coach women and mentor, you know, everything that I've done pretty much throughout my life. I was able to do it in this MLM.
Gotcha.
And then it just went from there.
So we have a similar story, right? I struggled in MLM for almost 15 years. I just knew the first time I saw somebody draw circles on a board and talk about residual income, I had to have it, right? I didn't know how I was going to make it happen. Being an introvert, before the internet, that means you had to be out and about and prospect and talk to people face to face. I wasn't going to do that, right? But 2015 rolls around and YouTube is starting to crack a little bit and Facebook is starting to get popular. I was able to then take something that I loved, which is talking about economic empowerment, especially in the Black and Brown communities. And that was the MLM that I was a part of. And it became very easy for me to do videos and kind of talk, because I was like, hey, I can say what I got to say on a video and you can't talk back to me. So that was my thing. It was very easy for me to do. So I grew my team that way. And it sounds like you went through the same progression as you people start coming to you about how you're having success and using the internet and social media. Then you became more of the marketer and the network marketing phrase. And that's what happened to me. I became more of the marketer, and I was like, man, you know what? I really like this marketing thing. And that's what led to me starting my own agency. So was that the progression for you as well?
Yes, it was. Yes, exactly. It was funny because since I was teaching and basically coaching women how to sell on social media confidently and effectively, that's what marketers do, how to sell on social media. And so that's how I based my marketing state agency around, using my past, in my psychology background, my military background, and everything I know, my entrepreneurship background, into one. And so that's how I've been able to do the whole marketing agency thing.
Gotcha.
That's how we're doing it. Social media. It has been
that's
that number one thing. Oh man, it's great.
I love it. So when it came to forming the agency, right? How long did it take? And did you have to cut off your team in MLM, or do you still have that when you made the decision that, you know what, it's cool, I'm moving products for other people, but now I want to start my own agency where it's 100% mine, it's 100% me. Walk us through that transition, because sometimes it's hard to let go of something that you're already good at. And that was the case with me. As I started to fall more and more in love with the marketing, I fell less and less and less in love with the managing of the people and the teams in the MLM space. So what was that transition like as you started to go full-fledged into building your own agency?
On December 20th, 2020, I decided, and I told myself, you know what? I'm going to start a podcast and I'm going to start a marketing agency. And I had a full-blown team of 500 people directly that I have entered, and, a team of 10,000 people. Yeah. And so that was the hardest thing, just letting go of those people that depended on you, because that's the thing about MLMs. You have this one person and do the trainings and the motivating and all that good stuff. But when you remove that person, it kind of like everything crumbles. So I knew that if I had stepped down, even though I had leaders, it was going to crumble. So I had to really think long and hard, because I also knew that starting a business was going to be, I wasn't going to get paid as much as I was getting paid on my MLM. At the very beginning, at least. And so I had to say, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I know it's going to be so tough. So for January up until about April, that was the transition. It was hard, me building my agency and kind of slowly letting go of the MLM that I was in. And so I had to talk to people one-on-one. I had to talk to them and let them know that it was no hard feelings, that if anything, if they would ever wanted to start their own business, their own thing, that I would help them. One of those things that I had to offer myself in that way, because as a mentor and a leader, you just don't up and go and leave somebody that trusted you, with their hard-earned money.
That's right.
And so fast forward, great. Everything great. Actually, it's still there, up and running. I still get residual income, believe it or not, from there. But I don't actively do it because I focus on my marketing agency. But it's nice to have. But it was very tough.
Absolutely. And I kind of ran into the same thing. Still get some residuals that I'm thankful for. My wife is certainly grateful for. But at some point, even though you're so connected to others, you have to make a decision that's right for you, even if it might not be right for them, right? Because clearly, if you are the glue that's holding this thing together and everybody can rely on, hey, we got Teresa, she's going to come do the presentation. We're going to close a lot of people because she's just bad. Then after the presentation, she's going to run the training. She's going to get all our new people trained up. Like, at some point, you have to look out for you. And I'm glad that it doesn't sound like any of your team members held any animosity for you for making a decision that you ultimately was right for you. So you make this transition, April. Now it's kind of like, hey, I'm full-fledged in this agency, and I'm so full-fledged that I put my name on it. It's TSG.
Yes.
What is it? TGS?
TSG's market. Yeah. TGS marketing.
TGS.
Yes.
I put my name on this thing. I've got to make it look good. So what was it like laying the foundation and then going to get that first client, that first contract, man? Talk us through it.
Oh man, I always talk about my first clients too, how they came about, and it was just years of quote unquote grooming, because I've always been on social media, just behind the scenes, talking on my videos, and when I transitioned and talked about how I opened my own marketing agency, I had people knocking on my door, like, I want to know more, because how I worked and how I was. And one thing that I'm also thankful to the military is that I am the no BS coach. Okay. I will tell you what you're doing wrong. And I think that's what allows people to be attracted to what I do and my type of marketing agency, because, you have so many wonderful and amazing marketing agencies, but what sets you apart? And so for me is the psychology and military based. How I work, how I use military practices, how I use obviously consumer psychology practices based on what I've studied, which, by the way, I did finish my psychology degree. And so I'm starting my business and marketing degree or finishing it now. But all that good stuff and how I coach, that's how they kept coming, and then me, in the entrepreneurship journey that my dad had taught me, it's like, give more and you will receive more. So I did free coaching calls, free coaching sessions. And you would think like, okay, you're giving all this information for free. What else can you give for, paid? But it turns out that people wanted more. Like they actually will pay. So it helped out a lot. So it was funny because in December, I made the most money. From January to October, zero, like nothing. 2021, nothing. And then November and December, the most money I've ever made in that year.
So two things. Let's start with November and December, because you're not supposed to be able to make money in November and December. Everybody's spending money on Christmas. Ain't nobody supposed to be spending no money with no coach in November and December. How'd you pull that off?
Yeah. Funny enough, my MLM, had a conference on how to sell on social media. So I immediately signed up on there. I said, I'll do it. I'll do the conference. I'll teach. And so when I did teach and did the conference, I'd have people sign up based how I set it up. Like, if you want more information, click the link, and I had the QR code on the screen, and they took screenshots, and you get a percentage off, all that. So I had 20 clients sign up for my sessions. I had one-on-one sessions. I had 4-week sessions. I had Instagram optimization, content creation, just little basic things that you would think that people sort of know, but no, they struggle with. So I had all that, and that's how I made the most money.
Man, that's
basic,
amazing.
Simple things.
But in your approach, though, I can see people with the wrong mindset saying they got to pay me to teach. I'm not coming to teach for free. But that wasn't your mindset. Your mindset said, hey, this is a stage, this is a platform that's going to expand my reach. So your mindset is so freaking amazing to me that you're thinking along those lines. The other thing that I have to have you hit on, because this is so incredibly important, right? I listened to Damon John's Entrepreneurship Day, I think not this past year, but maybe the year before, and he had interviewed supermodel Tyra Banks. And she said something very, very profound, which you kind of alluded to. She said, different is better than better. And you just said, what makes me different is my military background, my studies of psychology, not the fluff coach, not the pat you on the back coach, the no BS coach. Somebody might have said, you can't call yourself the no BS coach, you're a woman. But that's your authentic truth, though. Talk about the importance of, in your branding and in your marketing, being and staying authentic to who you are as a business owner, as a brand, all of that.
So it's easy to change. It's easy to, when you start a business, let's say you start a business and you're a certain way, like, I want to do this like this because this is how I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But things get rough, right? Times
Mm-hmm.
get hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, man, I'm going to have to start changing.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you start watering down your brand. When you start changing. If you just thug it through, stick it through, you're going to see a change. It might take a little longer, but you're going to see the fruit that's going to come afterwards. Gotcha. So because I've been on social media, just behind the scenes, and just even going on Ross and showing the $2 frame that I bought and talking about it, and, you know, why I love it and why, you know, people would go and buy it, why you should buy it, and all that good stuff, you know, showing my authenticity and basically having that credibility too, you know, it's very important. And just sticking it through and knowing that if I do, for example, if I give free coaching, that's not going to make me a watered down coach or whatever coach, or, you know, whatever people think coach. I know what I can get for free. You know, I'm going to give you wins. But you're going to come back. I guarantee you're going to come back because you're going to like it. You're going to like it. Right. And then when you have a problem, you say, hey, Teresa, now I need your help for real. You know?
Exactly. I had been accused of, Cortez, you giving away all the game for free, man. It's like, well, people pay for three things. First and foremost, they pay for transformation, but they also pay for your perspective and your presence. So even though I was giving a lot of content away for free, when I have an opportunity for people to get on a private Zoom call with me or a private workshop with me, even though I'm teaching some of the same stuff that I teach publicly, they want to be in my presence. So they're willing to pay for that. And I think people miss that. And some people just have the wrong mindset altogether with, I've got to charge for every little thing.
And that's when they get messed up, you know, like the 30-minute calls, that kills me when people charge like $100, $300 for the 30 minutes. Like, I understand, I get it, but sometimes, but you know, you're pushing away customers when you charge for that amount, you know. I understand that 60 minutes and up, okay, but 30 minutes, if they want to just know about your services, no, don't charge for that. Just, you know.
And I think that may also come from people not, if you're not confident in what you do and the results that you can get, then it's always money grab. No, I'm willing to have a conversation with you because I know that I'm going to wow you. I know I'm going to impress you. I know I'm going to show my skills. I'm going to show my authority. I'm going to show my credibility. And you're going to say, man, I got to hire this dude. If I got all of this for free for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, imagine what he gives me if we actually pay the dude. And that's usually how it happens for me. It sounds like it's how it happens for you as well.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
All right. Well, Teresa, we are at my second favorite segment of the show. And this is a segment that we call freestyle. Because I know you got bars, sis. You ain't been to New York and Miami, now in Kentucky, and you can't flow. So no, No, freestyle is not about rapping or rhyming, but as I'm building this multi-billion-dollar international media conglomerate, starting with this podcast, I don't always ask the right questions. The conversations don't always evolve to where we want them to go. So, freestyle gives you the opportunity to either reiterate something that we said that you feel is real important, or if we haven't talked about something that's really on your heart, then I want to give you 2 minutes to really say that. So let's get into some freestyle right here on the Cortez Hustle Show, the Teresa Sivak version. Hit them with your best bar, sis.
All right. Let's talk about two good things: good marketing and bad marketing. Okay. So let's talk about bad marketing. Just super basic, super simple. If you're starting out in business and you don't have the funds to pay for marketing or marketing coach, think about bad marketing. Bad marketing is when you put out things, this is what I do, this is what it does, here are some photos I took. Super bad marketing. You're not really portraying, how you can help. Versus good marketing, you're telling people this is what you're facing, right? This is how I can help you solve that with your product or your service. This is what differentiates me from other coaches or other, whatever it is that you do in your niche. And this is why the product or service, this is why you need it, right? And this is my promise. So when you have good marketing and bad marketing, think about a little bit more, put in a little bit more effort in talking about what would you like to be talked about too, so convinced.
I love it. Boom, drop the mic, ladies and gentlemen.
Drop the mic.
Bars, right? That is the freestyle Teresa Sivak version right here on the Cortez Hustle Show. I love that good marketing versus bad marketing, right? We're not, you got to make the connection. And I can't remember who in Russell Brunson's camp said this first, but I've been quoting it ever since, right? The person that can communicate the problem the best is by default assumed to have the best solution, right? So you got to talk about people's problem and how you can solve it, not the features of your product. Right?
Exactly.
Hey, I got this product. Nobody cares until they know that it can solve the problems that they're having, right? And I always say on social media, right, we are in 3 businesses before you sell anything. We're in the relationship business first and foremost. We're in the technology business, and we're in the media business. And if you don't understand you should be using technology and media for the sole purpose of building relationships, then you probably shouldn't be in business, because until I can build a relationship with you, I never get to understand what problems you have. It's like a doctor. If I just went into the doctor and just said, hey, give me a pill, and he said, okay, that's a problem. You got to ask some questions to figure out what's causing my pain, right? And I think good marketing, to your point, does that, figures out what's causing the pain. And if you have a solution, it would be against the law for you not to offer that solution, right? So, Teresa, tell everybody how they can get in touch with you. If you got any special offers or anything that you want to throw out there, let everybody know what's going on.
So I actually have a new offer that I just pushed out this month, and it's called Be With Me 4. And it's a 4-week one-on-one guidance, if you need help with social media, marketing, branding, entrepreneurial, anything. And as we meet one time for 90 minutes, and then you'll have support Monday through Friday via text or voice. So now you can get that with this on this show only.
Okay.
With the code HUSTLE50 for 50% off. HUSTLE50 for 50% off of the entire price. So remember, if you need somebody to guide you 4 weeks, 90 minutes with me, we'll touch on whatever it is that you have going on, business, social media, entrepreneurship, doesn't matter. We'll be there.
Gotcha.
And you can reach me at, and that you can get it at teresagcvak.com /be with me coach.
Right. Links in the comments, ladies and gentlemen. In the show notes, got the link there. And I also put the coupon code in there, HUSTLE50, if you want 50% off Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hooking us up, Teresa. I appreciate that so
Of course.
much, man. I love that that you did that for us, ladies and gentlemen. Just understand this, right? You know the difference between a rec coach and a select coach, right? You look like you might have played a little sports back in the day, right? Well, the difference is on a recreational team, everybody makes a team, everybody plays an equal amount of minutes, and the coach just loves everybody. On the select team, though, you got to try out and you can get cut. And even if you make the team, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to play, right? So I said all that to say this. Teresa is a no BS coach. She is the select team coach. That means she is putting foot to rear to make sure you get the results that you want. If you can't handle a no BS coach, then she might not be the one for you. But if you want that push and you want her to, and you want to give her permission to put foot to butt, then she's going to be all up in your face like a drill sergeant, because that's who she is, right? Psychology, military-based training for your digital marketing needs. Grow your small business with Teresa Sivak. Thank you so much for giving us so wonderfully of your time. And if you can hang around a couple minutes, I got a couple questions for you offline. But we're going to wrap it up right here, ladies and gentlemen. All the links in the show notes to get with Teresa. Hustle 50% off her Be With Me 4-week coaching program. You can't beat that with a stick, ladies and gentlemen. So use the links, get at her. And again, thank you so much, Teresa, for your service as a military mom and your husband. And thank you for your time and coming to hang out with us here on the Cortez Hustle Show. So that's going to do it for us, man. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up, because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every single one of you. Now hustle up. But you've got to overcome fear if you're going to win.
You're tuned into the Cortez Hustle Show. Please like and subscribe.